We had a real oral tradition in our house. I knew the word griot when I was a little boy. A griot was a person in Africa who was charged with keeping the stories of the village. Everyone would tell a griot the stories and they would remember them all so that they could tell future generations. And when they got old, they'd tell them to someone else. And they say in Africa, when a griot dies, it's like a library was burnt, man.
The griots were these brilliant African storytellers who learned for generations, the father, the son, mother, daughter, the stories of their people, their kings, their lands, etc., and so forth. In order to instruct others, they would have these huge sessions where they would sit around and pass these stories down and instruct people and so forth.
And the griot is the man who sits down there, who knows the history, who knows every single story that is important, relevant for that kingdom.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's your boy Griot, stepping into 2021 correctly. So, this is officially season 2. This is episode 1. I'm glad you guys are tuning in. There's no better way to do this but bringing it in February. My birthday is February 17th. And of course, you already know on the 14th, Valentine's Day. So, what to expect from season 2? More guests, better topics, and of course, intellectual stimulation. I have to keep giving that to y'all because I don't know about you, but there's a lot of bullshit that we see coming across the internet, and I get tired of it. So I want to grace the world with something positive. If you support me, please subscribe, like, share, hit that little bell. Make sure that everyone you know, go ahead and share it to them. And then I can't stress anymore. I can't do any better unless you give me feedback, whether it's negative or positive. Let me know how you feel about it down in the comments. So, without further ado, let's jump into this first episode. Valentine's Day. Let's talk about the origins of Valentine's Day. Most people have heard but don't know where it originated. So you'll hear people like, oh, it's a pagan holiday. And then you'll hear other people like, no, it's a Christian holiday. So I did some research. And this is what I came up with. A pagan festival called Lupercalia began with sacrifices by the leprosy. And the leprosy happened to be priests. This is back in Rome. Of goats and a dog, after which 2 of the leprosy, the priests, were led to the altar. Their foreheads were touched with a bloody knife, and the blood was wiped off with wool dipped in milk. The ritual required that the 2 young men laugh. I feel like this is some dark shit, and then you gotta laugh at the end of it, right? Then the sacrificial feast followed, after which the leprosy cut thongs from the skins of the sacrificed animals. You already know Peter definitely ain't getting with this. And ran in 2 bands around the Palatine Hill, striking with the thongs that they had already tied around them at any woman who came near them. A blow from the thong was supposed to render a woman fertile. So that is the original start of it, right? Then, in the 5th century, Pope Gelatius declared February 14th as Valentine's Day. However, when Rome was under the rule of Claudius II, who was a tyrant that banned marriage, St. Valentine's, who at the time was a priest, thought the ban unjust and married couples in secret. This led him to be jailed and executed for his actions. Before he was executed, though, it was said that he fell in love with Claudius's daughter and passed a letter to her. Hence why passing of cards during the 15th century on the 14th up until current time, day and age, had been used to symbolize him doing so to his love. So there you go. It started off pagan, then Christians adapted it, and they put a new meaning on it. So we have a tendency of doing that in cultures. We take shit and then we wrap it up with something beautiful, and then we try and make it ours. I, for one, don't celebrate Valentine's Day. You know, as a kid, when you're coming up and you're in school, you know, the teachers will tell you, hey, you know, buy a candy cane or whatever, and then you send it to some of your classmates, you know, your friends. And then when you get older, it's like, oh, your significant other, you have to go buy them a gift. So I did more research on this, right? They rake in about $14 billion every year on this holiday. So it just goes back to consumerism. Not to mention, why is it that it's okay for you to hate your significant other the rest of the year, and then that one day you got to show love? Vice, if you're not showing love to your significant other the rest of the year, don't you think something wrong there? So I don't know about everybody else, but I just don't get wrapped up in it. I leave it alone. If we're in a relationship, you're going to get what you get when I give it to you. It should not be forced for someone to be expecting something. It's another day. But that's just me, you know. But for those that do celebrate Valentine's Day, hey, there you go. That is what you're honestly celebrating. You didn't even know it. See what a little research can get you? But we do need to really start researching these holidays and figure out where they're coming from. We can go on, and throughout the rest of the year, I guarantee you, I'm going to be researching them and bringing it to light. When you know better, you do better. That's just how I feel about it. Another plus, like I said, my birthday is February 17th. So February will always be my favorite time of the year. You go through life, and the more we go through it, we learn that this shit is short as hell. So I'm just trying to enjoy it. So I'm thankful that I'm about to see another one, and I'm going to keep this party rolling. Now let's discuss February and Black History Month. And this is something that's been sitting on my mind for a very, very long time. When I was a kid, I didn't realize how I really felt about it because I grew up in a black household. I went to school that was predominantly black in a public system, and I grew up in a black area, black neighborhood. You see racism every once in a while when you step outside of it, but I didn't notice how I felt about Black History Month until I actually joined the military. So when you join the military, you're around a bunch of different people from all types of different backgrounds, which is a cool thing. Like, you see all of this. But then I started feeling a certain type of way when it came down to February, because they take Black History Month, and it's like they put us on a pedestal, and they be like, okay, we care about you this month. And I'm not talking about the military at this point. I'm just talking about people in general. It's like we're not seen until February. But even when they do that, and we talk about things in February, it's good to acknowledge the accomplishments that we have made throughout generations in history. That is good. What I have a problem, though, with is the fact that here we are in 2021, and we are so divided. And then when you actually sit down and have these conversations with people that don't understand or don't get it, they don't know the rest of the history that's there. So 450 plus years, you have Redwood, Tulsa, the Elaine race massacre. They wouldn't know what it is. They've never heard of it. They didn't even know that was a thing. So then I started thinking about, well, why is it that whenever February comes around, We usually, Martin Luther King quotes, which a lot of people like to use as weapons against the cause that we're fighting for right now. You'll see a lot of that. I see no Malcolm X. He doesn't have a statue. We don't celebrate his birthday. Why is it that in February it feels like it's being used as a weapon against us? And that's just how I feel. One, you pick the shortest month of the year, 28 days. And then with all the history that we have in America, which is American history, we just gonna take a couple things and then paint it up as a pretty picture. And then, oh, here you go. You guys should be happy. But then when you start thinking about it, 365 days out of the year, that's white history, Caucasian history right there. Why is it that our history isn't taught the same way? So that's as I got older, that was just my thought process coming into it, right? And I've talked to people and they say, oh, well, my mentors, and they'll tell me, yeah, but this is the time we're just supposed to take, and you know what I'm saying, we should be proud of just this moment and just living this moment together. Okay. I mean, that's cool. But February is not just the time to talk about this right now. There should be a constant conversation within the household, amongst your friends and your peers. We got hella allies right now. And I know allies that know more than me. And every time they open their mouth and they talk to me, I be shocked. And then I got to go do more research. Like, damn, I did not know that. Shout out to the allies, by the way. Gabe, I love you. Thank you for your feedback. I know that all white people aren't like that. I never said they were. And so I have a friend named Gabe that watched one of my videos. He's like, hey, man, I love your videos, but please make it known that you don't hate white people. Which, you know what I'm saying? I understand because, you know, I'm very, very passionate about what I'm talking about because this is the life that we live in right now. And he completely understands. And Gabe, you're amazing. Thank you for being a support, like being a rock I can lean on. So, once again, thank you for my allies. Nola Rubia Garcia, keep doing what you're doing. Check her out on IG. She's definitely dope. But yeah, I feel like February, and by the way, Black History Month was created by a black man. And for the time, it was right. It was a good thing, right? But then I feel like it was adapted and then kind of weaponized. If that makes any sense. That's just how I feel. Everybody's not going to feel that way. I completely understand. But me personally, our history books in school. Why is it that our whole history is not taught as children come up through their grades? They get a small dosage, and then they're sent on the way, and that's just supposed to be it. No, teach the whole entire history. Teach the actual facts. When you have kids of all races learning this little bit and little portion, and then they go out into the world as adults, of course they're going to be ignorant to what's going on. They don't completely understand the entire picture. And you can't hide that portion of it and act like it didn't happen and then get upset when it comes to light and then you're faced with it. You can't do that. So, school systems, teachers and education, these boards and these committees, you need to do better. You need to go back and you need to start forcing these unions and these people that make these books and these scholars to put all of that within these books so that our kids can learn it. And if you feel uncomfortable teaching it, well then damn, hire somebody that will and knows what they're talking about. I understand that some people hear it and they feel guilty. I completely understand that. We know it wasn't you, but this happened. So we all need to talk about it. That way we can get past it and move on. And that's just a starting point. Let me not go into reparations because we still waiting on that too. So just so y'all know, up there in Congress, we looking at y'all right now. So my contribution to Black History Month is this video. we need to do better. Good thing that we are celebrating, but we should be having hard discussions to figure out what's next, because we ain't got shit to celebrate for. Majority of us are still in poverty. A lot of us have come a long way. Yes, it's very true. But then you still got to remember, if all of us don't win, none of us win. Some people make it, and then the rest of us, I mean, damn, we got a shit ton of people homeless right now waiting on a stimulus check. Clapping their hands for $600. $2,000 should have been a minimum, period. But, you know, what can you do? Continuously talk about it. Hopefully it'll get through somebody's head one day. I don't know. We'll see. But if you're going to continue to participate in Black History Month, at least be willing to have those hard conversations with the individuals around you so that they can learn. If you're not, then you and yourself are still being complacent. I want to let y'all know that this is going to be another portion of, or another segment of the show from now on. This is a portion where we take shots at individuals that we feel are misguided, stupid, need help, just need to overall do better. And today I'm taking a shot at Marjorie Taylor Greene. First off, QAnon. Q is not a real person. That is somebody someone made up. And there are not evil Democrats eating children's heads and doing activities like that. If it were, someone would turn their ass in. So let's move on from that. 9/11. 9/11 actually happened. The men and women in the military that died to defend our country in 9/11, that's a real thing. The plane that hit the Pentagon was a real thing. People died in those events. So Marjorie, please get your shit together. The Parkland shooting. Clearly that was a real thing. The fact that you followed one of the individuals or one of the victims over there in DC and did what you did, even though you gave a half-ass apology, I'm sorry, still hasn't made up for that. Those children that went through that, they're traumatized for the rest of their life. So please show a little more compassion. The Jewish laser theory. So I don't know if y'all ever heard of Operation Paperclip, but that's a real thing. Jewish people, I don't care what issue you have with them, they're not here to destroy the world. They don't have lasers in space firing down into California, lighting shit on fire. That's not a real thing. If they did, we'd be living in the fucking Avengers where they just be taking people out that they don't like left and right. So let's please get past that. RBG body double. Rest in peace, RBG. Completely disrespectful, completely out of pocket. You should feel ashamed for yourself. And then false claims that Trump won the election. That one definitely, that bites, you bit the dust on that one. People like myself that voted and we got the president that we wanted, we deserve. So do better. I hope they vote you out, and I'm very upset that you represent Georgia. Being someone that's from Georgia. We don't want you anymore. Please move away somewhere else. Cheers. So, before I go, a couple more changes that we'll have coming up. I won't be doing Meet You Later Fridays anymore, but I have other surprises for you guys. So definitely stay tuned. Make sure that you do check in, subscribe, like, share. Follow your boy on Twitter and IG at L_Griot88. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.